Hey friends, welcome back to another video. My name is Emma Lefebvre and today we are doing some super cute, super simple Valentine's Day watercolor illustrations, perfect for any Valentine's Day card. So let's jump right in and start. Okay, so today we are going to be painting some really cute and easy Valentine's Day illustrations that you can use for any Valentine's Day card. So let's get started. I'm using my Paul Rubens watercolor paper, my Winsor Newton Professional Watercolors, my Emma Lefebvre Craftimo brush in a size 6 round, water, paper towel, pencil, eraser, and we're ready to go. Okay, so let's start with like a super simple, cute, like Valentine's Day envelope. So I'm just going to freehand a little rectangle here. Like so. Just gonna erase it a bit. If you don't want pencil lines, you could always use watercolor pencils so they dissolve when you paint with watercolor on top. Then I'm going to do a little heart for the sticker, little love letter, and then a line there, a line there, a line there, a line there. Probably one of the easiest things you could do. So there is our first sketch. Let's watercolor it. Honestly, you could do it any color you like. It really, really doesn't matter. So I think I'm gonna make mine like a little peachy pink because why not, right? And I'm just gonna do a light wash over this. I'm gonna make the heart red, so I can just go over it now and go over it after. I would make your pencil marks a lot lighter. I'm just doing it darker for the purpose of the tutorial so you can see. I don't know about you, but I love Valentine's Day, even when I was single, mostly because I was teaching and I love Valentine's Day with kids. I think it's super cute, but I just love the brightness of like pink and red during the dreary month of February. Okay, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a darker wash of this peach and I'm going to go around it to give a little bit of shadow, just a little bit of depth, so it's not just like a flat piece, like so. And then I'm going to go along the lines here. And again, like I said, I'm going to do a red heart, so I can wait for that to dry and then go over it with red. So it doesn't matter if it bleeds there or not. But I'm going to start with that and we're going to let that dry. Okay, super, super simple. All right, then I was thinking of doing the word love in florals. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just simply in block letters. Okay, and again, I would do this a lot lighter if I wasn't doing a tutorial. I just want to make sure you guys can see. Okay, L, O, V, E. Trying to make them a bit thicker so I have more room to do some pretty florals. You could always use masking fluid around the letters if you really want to make it nice and sharp, but it doesn't have to be. Okay. Then I'm going to erase any lines I don't need. And I'm also going to make it all a bit lighter, just so it's not too noticeable. Because if you go over it with watercolor later, you will not be able to erase it, okay? All right, and then I'm just gonna do flowers. So pick your color palette that you want for your florals. All right, I'm probably gonna stick with like reds and pinks. I'm gonna start off with like a bright red. And I'm gonna do like a bigger flower to start. I'm gonna try and not go over the lines of the L. Okay, maybe I'll do one over here. And then one over here, just kind of spacing it out. Then I'll grab some like light peach. I'll do a small rose. Like that. Gonna grab a bit more pink. Put in the center like that. Maybe grab a little bit of yellow. A little yellow bud. And then I'm gonna go in with my green. I'm just gonna use some sap green. And I'm gonna fill up the white areas with my green. And it's like kind of messy, but because it's so small, I find, oops, it doesn't really matter too much. You just do these petal shapes and it looks pretty florally. Some of it's bleeding into other things, but that's okay. That. Do a little bit of yellow in the center here. Okay, you can change up the flowers if you like. You can have some different, maybe I'll do like a bigger peach one here. I'll do a peony or something. And I just try and spread them out as much as I can. And then maybe a big one down here. Grab my red. Maybe do small little red roses, just little buds. Just change it up and have fun with it. And if you didn't want to do flowers, you could definitely do something else, like tiny little hearts to fill it in, or whatever you want, really. Like that. Let's get our green.
And now I'm just going to quickly speed up the rest of this word love, just so you don't have to sit through the long version of it.
All right, and there is our floral love, which would look so cute on a card and is fairly easy. Once it's fully dry, you can just try and erase all the pencil marks. Let's go back to this envelope for just a second. We're just gonna add a little bit more definition. So it's completely dry, and I'm just gonna go along this line here with that same peach color, wash and dry off my brush, and then blend it out a bit. Just makes it look a bit more 3D. Doing the same thing. Wash, dry off my brush, blend it down. And then same thing on this underside here. Wash, dry, blend it in. So it looks like these flaps are kind of like underneath the other flaps, if that makes sense. Like that. Blend it. You can even do a little bit of a shadow underneath this heart. And then again, just like a little bit more definition around. You can even blend out a little bit over here if you like. Okay. Maybe even take like a bigger or darker pink. Oops, too dark. Just make it a little bit more defined. And it's an illustration, right? So it doesn't have to be perfect, just nice and cute. Like that. I'm gonna wait for it to dry before I do the little heart. So again, we'll come back to that. Okay, next I want to do like a little cupcake. I think that would be super cute. Valentine's Day cupcakes. I love any excuse to eat cupcakes, let's be honest. So I'm gonna use I'm gonna use a light wash of red, I think. And I'm gonna do, you can definitely, you know what, let's draw it out first. You're gonna do the little cup here. It's gonna be a loose cupcake. It's not gonna be too detailed or anything. So these two lines are kind of coming down in on an angle. And then you're just gonna do a slightly curved bottom, slightly curved top, do a little kind of C curve there, and then we're just gonna make like the icing kind of nice and big and fluffy like that. Okay, very simple. And I'm just gonna erase it a bit, and I'm gonna start with this the cup part. Okay, just a light wash of red, which essentially is like a pink. It's going to be a different pink than the icing. Then I'm going to take a little bit of darker red while it's still wet. And I'm just going to do lines coming down while it's still wet. And we are going to make them a little bit more defined after. Okay, it's bleeding a lot, but that's okay. This is a loose thing, and we're just going to make this kind of jagged. Just do like a jagged line like that. A little bit more red. Jagged, jagged, jagged. Like so. Very loose. All right, now I'm not going to do the actual cupcake part just because that would bleed into the red. So I'm going to wait for that to dry. I'm just going to erase this a bit, and I'm going to do a light pink frosting. So I'm just taking my permanent rose, doing a light wash, really light wash, and I'm just going to go over, over the icing part with a light wash to start. Super light. And I'm going over those pencil marks. I would have rather erased them, but I didn't. Like that. And then, while it's still wet, you can grab a bit more pink. We're just going to go over one side of the icing and just make it a little bit darker, just doing these kind of like curved shapes. And around the bottom, we're going to make those a bit more defined as well. But we're just starting with a light wash there. Okay, just doing these kind of round, like backwards C. So it looks like there's kind of layers to the icing. And I might actually wash off my brush, dry it, pick up some color on this side, or you can even take your paper towel. I should have erased more of the pencil mark before, but it's fine. Let me grab a bit more darkness, and we're gonna let that dry before we come back. Is this dry yet? No. Actually, let's dry it, finish these two, and then we'll move on. Okay, now that it's dry, let's just go up and do this little heart. I'm gonna start off with a light wash. Even lighter than that. That's not too light, but that's okay. Like that. Making sure it's not pooling or anything. I'm gonna go back in with some darker red. Just drop it in there like that. Cute, and just let it bleed. And then here on this cupcake, I'm gonna do the lines, but remember how these are curved in, right? So the one in the middle is gonna be straight, and then they're gonna start to kind of curve out. Okay, and we're just making a really loose, cute cupcake. And they're curving out this way. Not curving, but you know, leaning out that way. Like so. Cute. Let's get like a burnt umber or a yellow ochre color and just lightly do the cupcake part, not touching any wet areas. If you can. It's okay if you do a bit. I'm going to grab a bit more burnt umber. Just try and make it a little bit darker. Oops, that's too dark. It's okay, we'll move it along. Like so. Just going to dry it just a little bit. Okay, so now it's dry. I didn't mean dry it a little bit. Dry it first. That's what I meant, just to dry it. And then I am going to do a little bit more definition. Although that looks kind of cute, just being that soft. I don't know, let's just check. So I'm just going to go in. This is dry, remember? So go in with a bit more pink and just kind of do a curve. I'll wash off my brush, dry it, and like blend out the bottom. Do another curve. Wash off my brush, dry it, blend out the bottom, just so it's a little bit more defined. Curve, wash, dry, blend. Like so. Yeah, I think that looks cute. You can do a little bit over on the side if you like. Just do your line, wash, dry, blend, like that. Yeah, that looks cute. Maybe a little heart chocolate on top of the cupcake, if you wanted. Could be cute. You could do like little sprinkles. That looks so cute. Now I want a cupcake, guys. Have some kind of coming off. So cute. Like that. And there's your little Valentine's cupcake. Now I want to make it. Okay. So those are 3 ideas. Okay, so next I was thinking of doing some like cute little lovebirds. Holding like a little banner that says love. I'm going to make it kind of small. So with my birds, I always start off with shapes. So circle for the head. I'm going to put them kind of far apart. And then an oval for the body. Okay, and all you're going to do is you're going to go around that, come down over the chest, come straight down for the back of the bird, having like feathers like that. Actually, this oval can be bigger. So the chest comes out like that. I have a tutorial on like birds if you'd like. Just look up Emma LaFave birds. Kind of scoop down over the chest. The back comes right out to the tail. Like so. And they'll have a little beak. And then I was thinking like a little banner that says love. Let's do little rectangle ones. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then little triangles like this. That's better. Like that. We can have like the string coming down in front after. Their little feet. Doot doot. All right. So let's erase all those inside lines that we don't need. And you can do them any fun colors that you like. I think I'm going to do like a pinkish red bird. So I'm going to start off with a light wash of pink. Because why not? We're doing a theme here. Okay, I'm going to make this a pink bird. Wispy tail, or feathers, or whatever. Then I'm gonna do some red, maybe around the breast like that, like the chest, almost like a robin. And then I can go with like a magenta color down the back a bit, and just do some feathery strokes. Like so. And then the other guy, let's make him like a bluish purple. I'm gonna grab some cobalt blue and bring it to my purple over here. You can make them whatever color you want. And I'm gonna do like purple for the belly, I think, and then maybe more blue down the back. Pretty. They're so cute. And then more cobalt blue down the back. And the tail. Cute. And then, actually I need a little bit more magenta for this little feathery bit there. You can put some on this guy too, doesn't matter. All right, then I'm going to do a light wash of pink for this little banner. Okay, and then I think I'm gonna do a little bit of black detail for the birds with an ink pen, but I wanna make sure it dries first. So while that's drying, I'm gonna do a little like candy heart down here for our last little idea. I love those little candy hearts. So I'm just gonna do a heart. Oops. Like this. And then I'm going to make it a little bit 3D. So I'm going to have it come down, follow that line, like that, come up like that. I'm just going to erase that little line there. I love little candy hearts. I don't think they taste good, but they're super cute. Like that. And then we can do another one over here. I gotta do a little line there. Gotta come out this side, this one. I'm running out of room on this paper. But that's okay. Okay, I'm gonna erase my lines a bit so it's not as dark. And let's change up the color. I love the mint color ones, so I'm gonna do that. I'll show you how to mix the color. Okay, so I'm going to make a mint color. So I already have sap green here. You can even use my cobalt turquoise. Wait, I think that's what it's called. I don't know. And just do a really light wash over the whole thing. Okay, let that dry. Let's do the other one. I just want to erase it a bit more. I'm going to do yellow, I think, for this one. Like a light yellow. Okay, and now we're just going to let the birds dry and the little candy hearts dry, and then we'll come back and finish with our detail. Okay, now that it's dry, I am going to do a little bit of detail with a black pen. So I'm using my Micron Pigma Micron pen in a size 01. And I'm just gonna do little eyes, like closed, little eyelashes, the beak on this guy, black beak, like that, and the feet. Really simple. You can do little feathers if you like, totally up to you. I'm gonna do the banner. Yeah, outline it. You could outline your birds too if you really wanted. This guy's beak. His eye, little eyelashes. Do wings if you like. 1, 2, 3. 2, 3. And then I'm just gonna write L-O-V-E. And the banner's gonna come down like this. Just a little bit of, like that. Cute little lovebirds. And you could always do like little marks on them if you want. Do more of like a line and wash kind of thing. Do little patterns just to make it a little bit more fun. Totally up to you. Okay, so there's our birds. And now with this one, we're gonna go back and add darker shadow around those side parts. So just adding a bit more of your pigment to the sides so it looks a bit more 3D. Like so. Like that. And then up here just a little bit you see, and then in this area. Okay, you can add a bit more if you like. Like that, just to darken it up. There's one. Do the same thing with the yellow. And it just gives your hearts a little bit extra something so it's not so flat. You make them 3D. And you could just do like a whole page of these if you wanted. So cute. And then I'm just going to take my size 2 brush, which I usually like for lettering, and I'm going to go into my red, or you could always do it with a marker. I'm going to write love you. Because the writing was always red, or what were the other things that they said? Like, you're cool. They can give to your friends. You're cool. These remind me of grade school. Make sure you spell it right. You are cool. And it doesn't have to be perfect. If you have a red marker and that's easier, you could always do that. Simple, simple. Lastly, just because we have some spots over here, you can never go wrong, ever, ever, with just doing some pretty watercolor hearts. You can fill them in. Honestly, you can do whatever your little heart desires. Have them bleed into each other. I like doing different colors and then having them bleed into each other side by side. Just have them touching slightly. Getting those color bleeds. And there you go. There are our Valentine's Day illustrations. Thank you guys so much for watching my video. I really hope you liked it and I hope you learned something. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel and follow me on Instagram for even more. Have a great day, guys. Bye.